what do you mean?
Oh,
what
what
do
these
they mean?
findings mean.
Right.
What do
Well,
they
yeah,
mean?
what some of these words mean, like closure and...
No, what do the findings
No,
mean?
What do the
what is
findings
it?
mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
What's the significance? You know, so this is going to come out as, you're going to start with, I want you to have the first thing called an abstract.
Right.
Because you're going to repeat that substance.
Right.
You leave these ending sections as they are, because they provide more detail.
Right.
But the abstract says, this is where we're all going.
You could probably take the 2 paragraphs from your abstract and make that into 2 points for a
Maybe,
slide.
yeah.
I can't remember what your abstract is.
Yeah, but I can,
But I think generally you can do that.
I would
Sort of what you sent to the grad school, right?
Right, yeah, I would just,
Yeah.
move it down. All right.
That's kind of what I do.
Big bullet points out of that. So
That's what I'm going to do for mine, is use an
Okay.
abstract to
All right.
introduce it.
Yeah, so the meaning, the meaning, is in these discussions, but you have to go through closure, bridging, and figure centrality. And maybe I'll do a one slide, what does this mean slide, instead of splitting it out like that. So, and then there will be the contributions to theory and to practice. I don't know if both of those go up front or just maybe the theory.
just make it,
More some.
like Kenneth suggested, just make it points from your, bullet points from what you sent to from the abstract. The 1-page abstract to
Right.
PGF.
Now, see, now there I didn't put contributions in the abstract, so.
Well, that would be a
Add
third,
a-
okay, so you add a 3rd bullet or a 4th.
But it seems to me you had results.
Yeah,
Oh, maybe I was
no,
thinking of a
contribution.
5-page or something. You had
Oh, yeah, no, that was a different.
But if you add contribution, to what you have in your abstract, I think that would be what he's talking about.
Right, okay. Okay, so it'd be kind of the abstract. Well, of course, the abstract does give the results, so that would be kind
Yeah.
of part of that, right? This preliminary results.
Well, your results are part of your contribution, no?
Well, no, but the contribution steps back and says,
Okay,
how does this relate to the body?
Then use the abstract
theory?
and add the contribution.
And maybe add the contribution.
Add
I
another
think
bullet
that's-
or a couple of bullets, whatever it is.
Yeah,
But I think you can do all that in one slide.
Is that what you're thinking, like a 1 slide or maybe?
Or 2.
Or
but
2.
not-
Yeah,
but
1 or
not-
2.
not a lot.
1 or 2, okay. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Okay. So, well, just.
So, all right,
You
now,
wanna go ahead and
I think
give
we're
you
back to...
or do you want to do it the long way, or you want me to go ahead and summarize this here now? Because that's how it'll be. I'll say, all right,
Okay.
we're going to, we've looked at 3 different kinds of social network structures, and we've created propositions based on social network theories of teams and other kinds of social network theories. And based on that, we are proposing and hypothesizing basically that we'll see here, I don't show, I got to show this as success. So somehow I have to point that out a little better. But basically, that success, the normative, I don't know the best way to say this, but
You need axes on this,
yeah, I know. All right. Yeah,
so that they see this
What
is
it means.
success
Yeah.
is only
Here's
at a middle
closure.
level of closure or something.
Yeah, this is success. Right, so success is maximized at a moderate level of closure. Success, as closure increases, it does have a positive relationship, but there is a maximal point after which it is a negative
But then
relationship.
there's a law of diminishing returns.
Well, it's even more than that. It's a counterproductivity kind of thing.
Okay.
It is diminishing returns, and
But it's actually
really,
counterproductive, right?
it's a negative relationship.
Yeah, okay.
So you can think of it in 2 segments. Closure, in this segment, from here to the center point, has a positive relationship, and then in
After
this
that,
segment has a negative relationship. So that's kind of how we're modeling it. And the basic idea is that, I don't know if I get into this at this point, but there are benefits, the benefits of closure that have been seen in other studies, and what I may do is show, I've got a, let me see.
Keep the abstract abstract.
Yeah, all right. where was it? I guess I took it out. Anyway, the team literature says the closure relationship is positive, that it's all positive, it's all good.
So the left side is what the literature leads you to suggest. The
Well-
right side is what you find.
Yeah, I might put a third one up, because in other words, the first missing column here might be, this is what team literature says. The team literature is positive, positive, positive. It says all three of these things are positive.
That would be very interesting.
Yeah.
That would add,
Yeah.
that would add to it, yeah?
Yeah, so I got that.
And then this is,
Reflecting the differences, we said, well, yes, we think there'll be some positive, but at some point it becomes negative because this is a bizarre
These are your
activity.
conjectures,
So here's team literature, here's your proposition, and here's
Here's
what
what we
we found.
found.
Yeah, I think that's a good one to
Right,
add. Yeah.
okay, perfect, that'll be in the front. So, positive, positive,
I
positive.
don't know how you're gonna take down one side.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, that'll
that
fit,
fits.
yeah.
Yeah, I just have to say that.
Yeah, you just have to strike it up or keep it up.
Yeah, so basically here, even though it was positive, we thought it might be inverted U. Here, for reasons I'll discuss later, we still think it should be a positive in the case of open source. But at leader centrality, we think it ought to be an inverted U. What we found was very surprising. Instead of inverted U, we found all negative.
and then somehow on the left have an arrow going up that says success. Not in each little box, but just as a general key.
Yeah, like over here, kind of a success.
I would even do it on the outside.
On the outside, yeah.
Success.
Where, like way out here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because success, that's
Oh,
what all
okay.
the vertical
It's all of your
axes.
vertical axes.
All the
are
vertical axes
success.
are success, so you can do it once.
And then,
All right.
and then on the bottom, have an arrow going both ways. It says low and high.
Yep.
Something like this. Low, high. Just this kind of key,
Because
So that everybody-
you're going to define low and high watts, but or actually that's what your columns define is low and high watts.
Well, yeah, but that's low and high closure. Low and high
Exactly,
closure.
exactly.
All right.
something like this. All right. This is a key
Right.
To reading this
Right.
chart. Yeah.
Good, good, good. Okay. Okay, perfect. So this is the big story right here, so it would be good to get this up front.
Yep.
That, here's what we thought we would see, here's what we saw, which was really surprising, that we only saw the negative component. So we did anticipate there was going to be some negativity, some negative relationship, but the fact that there was no positive was really surprising. And basically that means there's really no benefit to any density of conversation in these kinds of communities. As compared to teams where the best teams are those that have the most dense conversation. In terms of
And
bridging.
of course, as soon as you say that, people are going to ask you, why do you think that's true?
Well, how do I avoid that? Or should I address it now?
You have to be able, you can either say, I'll take it up
I'll
at
take
the
it up
end.
as I get into it, or maybe give a brief answer.
But
right
you-
now. Right, okay. I'll
And
interfere.
but then what you can say is, that's what I'm going to explain in the
Yeah,
next
right.
slides.
I'm glad you asked the question. Okay.
I'm coming, thank you, I'm
Thank
coming
you.
to
I'm
that.
coming
and
to
that's-
that. You anticipated that. Okay. So then in bridging, instead of a positive relationship, we found there was really no important relationship. In reality, we found a couple of findings, but in general, there was no important relationship, and that was surprising. And in terms of leader centrality, we think we're probably not seeing any important relationships. There were a couple of significant relationships, but we think they're spurious, and we'll discuss that. I'll be discussing that as well. But this is less conclusive than these. This was pretty conclusively negative, and this was pretty conclusively flat. No relationship. Okay, so that'll be part of that.